All right, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sebastian Brenner, and I'm very happy to see so many people still here, because now we're coming to something entirely different. We're coming to a journey into the future. And I would like to take you into the digital future of sales and marketing in the chemical industry. And I would like to show you what we have achieved with CheMondis in just 1 year's time to take you and the entire industry into that future. As you've learned from the presentations of Michael Schäfer and Anno Borkowski, chemicals are fascinating, but they are also tremendously complex. And so complex as the chemistries and the value chains are, is as well how you sell and how you market chemical products today. Now, CheMondis is on a mission to change this. CheMondis is on a mission to take today's world, and I'm going to show you what today's world looks like, and bring that into the 21st century. Now, you see maybe from my jeans that I'm wearing, you may see from the layout that we have, that we're actually a corporate startup. We are founded out of Lanxess, and Mr. Zachat has explained to you already that the journey actually started about 2 years ago out of the digital initiative here at Lanxess. About 1.5 years ago, we decided to carve out this idea of CheMondis into a separate legal entity. And as of today, we're 1 year in the market. We have our own office here in Cologne on the other side of the river. We have our own team. We have our entire own IT infrastructure. And I'm also going to give you a glimpse on what it actually is and what the way of working is at CheMondis. Yeah. So, what is our mission? Our mission is to digitize marketing and sales of the chemical industry. We do that for Lanxess, but we're not only doing that for Lanxess. We're doing this in an open platform setup for the entire chemical industry. And that sets us apart significantly from maybe other digital initiatives or digital offers that you might have seen from other players. We are a software provider adding services, digital services, to anyone in the chemical industry. That can be manufacturers, that can be distributors, and that can be traders. You will see on the next couple of slides what CheMondis is, how we work, and it will also show you what we have achieved over the last 12 months. But before I can take you into the future, I would like to highlight to you what is the reality in selling and marketing chemical products today. As you probably all know, the chemical industry is massive. 4.5, 4.7, you find different numbers, $1 trillion every year. But this industry, to the largest extent, is offline today. There's about 15–20% of transactions that are done electronically today. Most of them are in Asia, particularly China. But for the Western world, and that is what we realized when we started this initiative, there is no digital offer. There is no digital provider that facilitates the trade of chemical products. So I've picked a picture here on the right-hand side, which is a bit provocative. I mean, it's not like we're sending millions of faxes around, but we're not very far away from this. We may be sending millions of PDF documents around, buying from one party to the other. It's a tremendous effort today to find the right supplier of a product if you're looking for a product. Because it means today you're picking up the phone and you're calling the people that you know. But there is no information platform that allows you to find this information conveniently on the internet and allows you then to make a transaction from finding the information, negotiating for the product, and then as well closing a legally binding deal. So our ambition is to change that, to go away from sending literally millions of emails, PDF documents, and sometimes even faxes around to a digital platform. CheMondis is open. CheMondis is an open marketplace, and that is very, very important for everyone here in the room to understand. We're not a provider of service or software for one particular participant in the chemical industry. We are there to supply and to connect as many suppliers as possible, this side of the graph, with as many as possible buyers on the other side of the graph. Very important for everyone to understand. Now, what does it mean? That means that we are a trading platform. And I've just read in an important magazine, an article that with our help, Lanxess is the only stock-listed German chemical company that if you go on their landing page, lanxess.com, you'll find the opportunity to buy their products online. That's a very, very important first step in that entire journey that I'm showing you just now. Yeah? And again, we're not only doing that with Lanxess, we're doing that with a lot of other participants of the industry as well. We launched the product about a year ago, and now you might be curious of, okay, now show me the numbers. What have you achieved over the last 12 months? And that's that. Within 12 months, we have successfully onboarded more than 1,000 chemical companies, particularly in the Western European space. If you consider that there's about 22,000 chemical companies in the European Union, 1,000 is more than 4% of all of these companies have signed up. That means that they are either selling or buying chemical products on CheMondis. And again, that's large multinationals, that is chemical distributors, or that is very small trading houses. We are open basically for everyone professionally trading these products. We have listed more than 13,000 products by now, and our ambition, obviously, as an open marketplace, is to grow this number significantly moving forward, to accumulate as much an offer as possible. And last but not least, you see on the right-hand side, the number of transactions is igniting. And I think that is what you're looking for when you are looking at marketplaces. You try to see that traction point, that ignition point. We've had more than, by now, 3,000 transactions. We've made more than $150 million or euros of transaction value. And you see that this pretty much happened in the last 3 or 4 months. So we're at the very, very early beginning of this, but we are seeing traction. And that is what gives us confidence that what we're building here has pick up in the market. Another fact down here that you can see, we have an average basket on our products of 55,000 euros in one transaction. So that means that we're not selling a couple of kilos here, a couple of liters there. Vast majority of our transactions is full truckload, full container load, industrial scale chemicals. And once you go back to your office, do a little research, try to basically Google for industrial chemicals. Try to use any other search engine that you might have. We are the only offer at the moment in the Western world that allows you to buy and to negotiate for industrial scale chemicals. An average basket of 55,000 euros, that is a starting point, but it shows you as well that there is significant trust and there's significant value already today that we are trading on that platform. But now think about what is the consequence of us doing these transactions online. Before you were picking up the phone, you were making these phone calls, you were sending emails from A to Z one-to-one. Now we are the first platform in the industry that actually can accumulate the data that is occurring in these processes. What are people looking for? How often do they go on your page? How long do you stay on their page? What did you negotiate for? Did you negotiate for price? Did you negotiate for delivery terms? Did you negotiate for your payment terms? That is information that wasn't existing systematically before for this industry. Now we are the first platform to systematically access this data, but as well with the potential in the future to play that information back into the industry. How is supply-demand pictures developing, for example, for certain products? That would be an interesting piece of information that today is not existing in real time for this industry. So we are basically tapping into entire new data fields that weren't existing before. In the future, we can apply artificial intelligence to that data that we are accumulating here. We can predict in the future what is going to happen. And we're not doing this based on some panel studies or some market research. We are doing this on real-time transactional data out of the industry. That is a significant value potential for the future. Now, this is what our products look like. Our ambition is to make it as convenient as in the B2C platforms that you know potentially from your private shopping, your private purchasing that you're making. But with the know-how that you need for the chemical industry. It is very different, and again, I can only reference to the presentations we've had before, to buy and to sell chemical products than selling B2C products, obviously. So we do this with the know-how of the chemical industry, but we do it with a view on how can we make it as convenient as possible for the purchaser to basically close a transaction. So you'll see some very familiar functionalities like a search bar that suggests you your findings or your search results. And I will show you later in real time how easy it actually is to go through the entire chain online on our system. The other big driver that I would like to highlight is that the behavior of the buying and the selling persons is going to shift dramatically in the next couple of years. Baby boomer generations are leaving the workforce, and there is digital natives now growing into responsible positions in purchasing and selling chemical products. Those persons grew up with smartphones. They grew up with the internet. And I think it would be stubborn to assume that they come to the office and leave all of this behavior that they grew up with basically aside, and they pick up the phone again and do their transactions the old way. They would want to use digital technology in their business environment as conveniently as they do this in their private life. And that for us is a major driver to see this thing succeeding. The other and maybe last point here on this slide is we're not stopping by simply copying an existing offline process and digitizing it. That would be too short of a step. We're looking at the entire chain from how do people search for chemical products, what information do they need, how do they negotiate for deals, and how do we close it? And in the future, we'll probably also go beyond this. And we want to entirely give the customer a user experience online to be able to perform all of these steps on one platform. And that is very, very distinct and very, very special, something that nobody else at the moment has available here in this market. Now, I would like to highlight a couple of features, and I will later explain you as well on how we develop, how we work in agile software development mode to continue developing these features forward. You see in the top some of the features that we have already implemented. Maybe to highlight just a couple of them. On our platform, you can negotiate for spot deals. That's simple. That was our minimum viable product, MVP. You have a demand, I have supply, we can negotiate, we can make a deal. But we're not stopping there. We allow you now to also make long-term agreements. And that, as you know, is probably the majority of the transactions in the chemical industry. We agree on a deal for a year, for example, at specific commercial conditions, certain volumes that we agree, and then you can just go there, and it's a simple click for you to buy out of that agreement that we have already established. But then we continue. The order that you might have placed now on our system automatically finds its way via electronic data exchange into the ERP system of a supplier. So where before you might have had someone literally sitting there typing your fax or your PDF document into the ERP system, those orders now pop up immediately and automatically in the supplier's ERP system. So significant gains in efficiency for the supplier and in convenience for the buyer. So both parties win, and therefore it makes sense to use CheMondis. Now, with the data that we have, we can tie financial services around this. Think of insurance services, think of collection services. Think of all of the opportunities that we'll have in the future around data that we are accumulating. We're just starting, actually, on this. There's massive opportunities in this moving forward. And then for the future, we're looking at additional services in areas which are similarly traditional as the way of selling and buying chemical products. Think of logistics services, for example. Think of payment services. All of that can be more efficient or more convenient with the support of digital tools. Now, you guys are from the financial community, so you might ask yourself, okay, but how is this guy ever going to make any money from this, right? There is multiple ways. And you can look at existing platforms and their revenue models. A simple way would be we charge a commission for every transaction. That's an option. To be honest, I'm personally not much of a fan of this because it would give people an incentive to move around the platform because it would make the transaction more expensive, but it is a viable option. There is ways to work on a classical freemium model. So you have the basic functionalities free, the premium features you have to pay for. Yeah? There is the value-added services, like the one I've just mentioned, where we do electronic data interchange, and there's immediate savings in efficiency on the process. There's clearly willingness to pay for these services. Yeah? And then, obviously, the entire data, the new data that we are accumulating, that is worth money for both, for the buyer and for the supplier. So for us in the future, and again, we're just starting, we've just basically started this 12 months ago, there's various ways that we can monetize this. But at the moment, the priority is on starting this up. At the moment, the priority is on growing a network as large as possible to expand the number of companies, of products, and of transactions. And then we have a full set of options here to monetize this business model moving forward. Now, how do we work? And I've picked this example here because I think it's quite an illustrative example. When we started this 12 months ago, we didn't know what actually the product is going to look like. So we started with a very simple product, and we developed this basically in 3 months. And that was, we know that there's demand for food, yeah, if I stay with this picture. But we didn't know what the exact ingredients of that particular piece of food needs to be so that it becomes most attractive to our customers. So instead of aspiring to build the Big Mac in the first place, we started humble with the MVP, and then gradually we improve this base product. That is agile software development. So how does it work? We build something and we work in 2-week sprints with our team that is just across the river here on the other side of Cologne. We work in 2-week sprints and we build product increments. So for example, we add a slice of tomato on our product. Then we give it to customers to test it and to learn if they like it or if they don't like it. So that means that this product that you are seeing and that I'm going to show you in just a couple of seconds is changing every day, 4, 5, 6 times. And every time the question is, do our customers pick the new features up? Do they like it? Then we continue down that road. If they don't like it, well, we've invested two weeks, but that's relatively little risk that we're taking. We can also take it back down again, right? So that product is continuously developing based on customer feedback. And now again, we have more than 1,000 companies that is working with us. So there's significant base for us to build in the future a product that is outstanding and best in class. And now I would like to switch to the computer here. Perfect. And I would like to show you how easy it is to use the product, how convenient it is, and how quickly buyers can purchase products on our platform. So again, this is an open marketplace, so you'll find, this is a test environment now, so you'll find not all of the real offers in here, but you can basically search this by various dimensions. You can search this by applications, you can search this by manufacturers, you can search this by products, you name it. There is no limit to this. But this very, very concrete demo that we're going to do today, we're going to buy concretely a Lanxess product, which is Levatite. And now comes basically the product details page. So on this product details page, you'll see details about that particular product that we've now selected. Yeah? So we know in our case now very precisely that we want to go for that particular product. You'll find information that is technical information. You'll have the option here as well to download technical data sheets, safety data sheets for that particular product. All of that is technical know-how that is required to make a decision on buying or not buying that particular product. And then, if the supplier wishes, they can give you an offer. They can show you various packaging types at various prices. Or if the supplier doesn't wish for this is perfectly fine. You will go into an individual online negotiation for particular volume, price, you name it, all of the commercial factors that you would like to discuss. Now in our case, just to illustrate how easy it is to use it, we are going to buy 1 bag of that particular product. It works very, very similar to B2C platforms that you know. We put this into our cart. And then you have the option, again, as we are on a marketplace, to go purchasing other products, maybe from other manufacturers or other distributors. There's no limit to this. You can have a mixed basket from as many as you want. Or you say, okay, in this case, it is just really this one product that I'm going to buy. I proceed to check out. All right, I want this delivered today to Lanxess Tower, Kennedy Platz 1. That's here. And I confirm it. So it is as easy as you know this all from your personal shopping. It is the same. But it has the technical tweaks and also the capacities. I didn't show this now because it would be too complex, to go into individual negotiations and again also into the long-term agreements that you can online basically run. So significant improvement, as I've said, for both parties, the buyer and the supplier, in convenience and the efficiency of running those processes. All right, switching back to the presentation. In summary, we have built the largest and fastest growing B2B network for this industry in just 12 months. And I've shown you the graphs. The momentum that we have gained is significant. So we expect this to move forward at the same fast pace that I've shown you just a couple of slides ago. The team that we've built is exceptional. It is exceptional because we are combining chemical know-how. That means we have PhDs in chemistry, we have chemical engineers, we've got people that work many, many years for sales and marketing in the chemical industry, for manufacturers and distributors alike. We combine them with digital marketing experts. So those are the guys that worked for those B2C platforms before. They know how to digitally position products on search engines on the web. And then, as you always say, Matthias, we have our nerds. We have our coders that build the product. And we all do this just across the river here in the city. Yeah? So we bring them all together here, and this creates significant creativity and significant drive and entrepreneurship to build this new business model I've just shown you this little glimpse of. Now here's the team. You see it's a young team. It's a mix of, we're 30 people with more than 12, 13 nationalities that we've all brought together here. We've got a mix of male, female, different expertise that we're bringing in. It's a rather young team, and you see as well we've got some fun also developing this product. Yeah? And you see how easy it is. The product has just arrived in time. And with that, I would like to thank you very much for your attention, and I'm happy to answer your questions. Thank you.